I am really, really pleased that we've got Miriam on stage today, because you've got some great stories about your time with Reward Gateway. And then we've obviously got Seamus as well, the engagement manager. And you've worked with Miriam from day one, really, haven't you?
Yeah, about 18 months now, yeah.
So what might be beneficial for people in the audience, if you could just tell us a little bit about the programme and what we do for them?
Sure. So the programme is called SAVE, which I think when we had our implementation meeting was the first thing that we took away, actually. It was a really, really powerful name. It's very on point for us. We've been running it for about 18 months, as I say. And the challenge was we had to have a really stripped-back launch. So part of my job is to normally think about what sort of fun things we can do. We've got to be all singing, all dancing. But with Stroke Association, it was really important to make the employees see that their money was going in the right places. So it was really thinking about how we could do a very low-key launch.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, in the charity sector, we just haven't got the money to be doing it. If I'd have rolled something out and do desk drops, I would have been criticised for spending stroke survivors' money. So I really had to keep it low-key and just really work on the communications. And that's what you guys did. You really worked with strong communications.
So Miriam, how have you found working with Reward Gateway over the last 18 months?
Oh, to be honest, I've absolutely loved it. It's been really brilliant. I came along to a seminar, probably 2013. My friend from McDonald's did a talk. And straight away, the energy and the enthusiasm and the passion in the room for the product, it was electric, and I really wanted to take some of that back to the office with me and some of that back to my colleagues and the charity for which I'm proud to work for.
So one of the first people that you started working with at Reward Gateway was Phil Morris. I don't know where he is, somewhere. What can you tell us about that first meeting with Phil?
Poor Phil. Came to the office. To be honest with you, it was Sophie and Phil came to the office. The meeting room's downstairs in the basement, so I let the guys go into the meeting room first, because at that time I had an air cast on my leg. So it was taking me about 10 minutes to get up and down the office and down the stairs. So I got downstairs, fine. So we opened up the meeting and started talking about everything. And one of the first things he said to me was, it costs X amount to provide the Stroke Association or your employees with a Christmas party. And I went, no, it doesn't. We don't have a Christmas party. So he sat back, did some more calculations, and then he turned around and said, it costs X amount for the Stroke Association to provide tea and coffee for 800 staff members. I went, no, it doesn't. We pay for our own tea and coffee. To be honest, I gave him such a hard time, and I didn't mean to, Phil, honestly. And I remember he slipped a piece of paper across the desk. I thought, all right. And he no, really, I did. And he put on this piece of paper, you can anything you want, any time. Can I use the bathroom? I thought, it's taken me 10 minutes to get down this flight of stairs. He's been in this meeting 8 minutes and he needs the loo. Fine. But he came back in and everything was on track and it was fine. We had a really good meeting. I had an assistant with me and I had an intern. It was fine. And about an hour into the meeting, there was a knock on the door and somebody, I just assumed I was running late in the meeting because I can chat for England, and I just thought I was running late and someone was moving me on. And somebody turned up with carrier bags of tea, coffee, milk, sugar, and my Reward Gateway mug, which I treasure. And it was really kind of him to bring something into the office, and I was able to put something into the kitchen, and staff were saying, where did that come from? Where did that shopping come from? And I've just had a meeting, and this is what they've brought in for us. And it was really nice. It was a nice thing to do, and I've always remembered that, and I do treasure my mug.
So what can you tell us about Stroke Association and the type of people that work there and the type of challenges that the business was facing at the time?
Okay. To be honest, any charity sector is quite hard to work in. We've got a workforce of 800 people. Somebody working in London and as an admin assistant on 35 hours could be taking home gross 15,000 It's really not a lot of money. We hadn't had a cost of living for 3 years, and when we had a cost of living in 2010, for the first time what we did was we split it. So the people on the higher grades got less than the staff on the lower grades. We just had to think outside of the box. It was the only way we could afford to do it. So times were really, really tough and challenging. Our development performance review wasn't being paid either, and there was absolutely nothing we had, or nothing I had, that I could give back to the staff. My remit had always been to go out and look for what you can get for nothing, look at voluntary benefits. But to be honest, you can't really roll something in of value like that. It's not going to work.
So what kind of impact did that have on the culture and the people at Stroke Association?
Well, to be honest, as soon as we've brought the product in, I think within the first week...
I think about 183 people signed up for the programme.
That is a quarter of the workforce, just based purely on the emails. No teaser campaign, no desk drops, no pens, just posters, intranet site, just rolling it out with good communications, sending posters out, and really saying to staff, if you're not the main shopper in your household, take this link home to the person who is. Because let them look at it, let them use it, if you're not going to be the one that's going to be using it all the time. So it was just really working like that with it.
Miriam was really proactive that actually, so she's got a lot of passion, and there was a lot of employee outreach. So we can provide her with the posters and the communications and strip it back as much as we can. But a lot of the success of the programme really lies with Miriam going out there and talking with her employees and getting them on board.
So what kind of feedback have you had since it's been going for about 18 months now? What kind of feedback have you had from employees?
Really, really positive and grateful feedback. I worked with Shay and we built a champions page. So I've actually, when staff ring me and say, oh, I've done this, I've done that, I saved £70 here, I asked them whether they'd be kind enough to tell their story. So I put them in touch with Seamus, and when you read their words, and it's not a few lines or a paragraph, it is a story about what they did, why they did it, how they find it. And I think out of everybody's got something on it that says that I'm really grateful that the association did find the money and did roll this out and has made it available to me.
I think one of the things with the Champions programmes as well is that they can be quite difficult to get people to engage with. And one of the things that spoke volumes to me is the amount of people that came forward with their stories and were happy to share them. We couldn't even fit them all on the site. There were so many people wanting to talk to us, which was really positive.
Because it's obviously had such a huge impact, and it's been really well received, and it is a really great story, but it was with its challenges, and you had a bit of a battle getting the budget, and there was a lot of things to overcome. So for anyone else who might be in that situation, what advice would you give to them?
Well, to be honest, I think you need to really plan and take any help you can get. I stayed to the seminar and I did the building a case. So if there's any help on the table, I will take it. I did the building the case seminar, which helped me start to write something, because I knew for us to bring something in and spend this money, I really needed to demonstrate I was passionate and it was going to work, because we just haven't got that money to spend, and if it's not viable. So by writing something, and what I did was I put my employee and employer hat on. I wear two hats when I sit in HR. I look at the staff and I look at an employer. But being able to write something and present it to people, to 15 male directors on our directors management team at that time, who I know don't stand in Sainsbury's on a Friday night trying to save £10, where everybody else would be. It was trying to write something to get them to be on board and to get them to buy into the product. And I was lucky I was able to do that.
So let's go back a step, and can you tell us about your implementation process and how you found that?
Well, the implementation process went really well. It was against the odds. We ran the payroll October the 25th, and my plan was to come into the office on the Monday, start working. We already had the name, we didn't have anything else. On that Friday night on my way home from work, I got my leg caught in an escalator, and I was off work for 2 months. So after various conversations with the office, what are we going to do? We're going to wait until I come back. The martyr in me wanted to wait until I came back in January, but we talked about it, and Shay and my colleague, who then had to step in and do my job and her job, actually managed to implement it. So we was down to one person, and they still managed to implement it on time and successful, with a quarter of the workforce within 1 week engaged. So I'm really proud of that.
And you obviously had Shay by your side, is giving you lots of support.
I couldn't do anything without Shay by my side.
Thank you.
You two have such a good working relationship. I think actually Shay once said that you remind him of his mum.
Yeah, I know.
On a number of occasions I've said, Miriam, it's like working with my mum.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Oh, it's nice. But I think, again, that's part of the success of the programme. We do have a fantastic working relationship. And it always helps having that, just being able to communicate with each other effectively and just get the job done.
I mean, to be honest, I'm never afraid to ring through and ask for help. When we looked, even at Christmas, when we talked about the new Christmas poster that I wanted to send out, because I've got a remote workforce, so I use a lot of posters, and you sent through the Christmas one and there wasn't enough glitter. So I had to ring you up and ask if I could have just a bit more glitter or a bit more sparkle. But to be fair, I got what I wanted, so it's fine.
So the success of your programme meant that you actually won a Benefits Excellence Award last year as well, Best Benefits Revolution.
Yeah,
How was
again,
that?
It was fantastic. I'm not afraid to accept any help on the table. I stayed and did the masterclass. Glenn organised for somebody to come in and do a masterclass, and I actually wrote 3 benefit entries. I left here on the Friday. Saturday, 6 o'clock in the morning, I was writing, and I'm really proud. I had 3 nominations. I was really proud of that.
Really well deserved, so congratulations for that. So let's, we have actually had some questions come through on Twitter and some text messages, so let's pick some audience questions. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay, this one is, how can you utilise a small budget for a multi-site organisation with poor connectivity?
Post. Basically, if not everybody's got internet access, the best thing to do is posters, good old-fashioned way. If you can email them out to your sites, get somebody to print them off and put them in the staff rooms. If you haven't got that facility, just print them off, put them in the envelopes and just send them out and ask for people to pop them up for you.
Okay, another one here says, what would have happened if the project had not been approved?
I'd have sulked. No, to be honest, if it hadn't been approved, I would have had to have taken my case through a bit stronger. At the end of the day, we hadn't had a cost of living for 3 years. You can't stand in Sainsbury's trying to pay what you paid 3 years ago for something. They don't like it. So I really needed, the pressure was on me to find something and to bring something in. So I really had to make it work.
And you did a really, really amazing job as well. So this question's sort of linked a little bit. It says, how did Miriam manage the staff expectation of no or low pay rise, but affording to put a benefit system in place? So I guess, how did you manage any objections?
Well, to be honest, that was always the risk. Staff may have looked at it and thought, if she's got the money for this, why haven't we got the money for a cost of living? Behind the scenes, I know it was cheaper for us to bring this in than it was to give a cost of living. And if you're looking at an hourly rate of pay and you're getting 1%, you're looking at pence on an hourly rate of pay. And we needed something more than that. So basically, it was just trying to bring something in like this and getting the approval, getting people on board. It also helped, I'd moved the life assurance. So I had some money, I'd moved to a different provider, like for like, and I had some money left over. So I kind of had a little bit of a bargaining tool behind me.
You kind of did a little bit of juggling, didn't you, really? It's quite important.
I had a bit of housekeeping.
Okay, if you could do anything differently with regards to implementing the benefits programme that you have now, what would it be?
To be honest, it wouldn't. I think quarter of the workforce engaged in a week is brilliant. I'm currently doing site visits. Staff are really, really thankful that I take the time to go 6 hours up to Yorkshire for an hour and a half slot. It's fine. What I've been doing more recently is demonstrating my own personal account. It's honest. They can see exactly how long it takes for me to do a transaction, what transactions. They can see that I use more than one card. And I think it's one of the best ways. And when you're talking to people and demonstrating the account and actually reloading a card and saving money in front of an audience, they're really on. You can actually hear the cogs ticking. And it's brilliant. I get a lot out of that. So I really enjoy doing the site visits.
So for anyone who doesn't know Reward Gateway, how would you describe us?
Revolutionary, to be honest. I've sat with other providers and I've just not been on board with it. But when you come to these seminars and when you listen to the product and you meet the staff with the enthusiasm and the passion for the product, it rubs off on you. And when you leave here, you want to take that back with you. It's brilliant.
So Shay, can you tell us about how the programme's doing now? So we know it did really well in that first week.
Yeah, so doing really well. We've got about 61% engagement now across the business. About £170,000 been spent through the programme.
Yeah.
And I think the important part that we can deliver to your board is that we've delivered a pound for pound return on investment in year one, which is actually quite rare. So yeah, it's performing really, really well. The stats just are going up and up every month, which is great, really good to see.
Yeah, no, I'm really pleased with it. When we send out the posters, I think when we sent the Easter poster out, and again, that's because these guys know what they're doing. They sent a poster out, and I thought, actually, that's a good idea. I sent the poster out, 40 people in one day registered because they had the time. And if you just send something out to them, take this link home if you're not going to use it now. The other thing we've done is we've created a little handbag-size flyer. So when we go to site visits or we send them out to offices for people to put them in the kitchen, just with a helpline number. So we do try to do as much as we can ourselves as well.
Okay, so one last question is, if you had a magic wand and you could sort of put anything in place now or change anything, what would it be? What would you do next?
I wouldn't change anything, to be honest with you. It absolutely works. We are going to go across to the smart spending, the new upgrade on the hub. I'm in the process of being made redundant, so I'm leaving the association shortly. So that is the last thing I want to do before I go, get a paper written to make sure that I get this upgraded so I can leave this product behind as high up as I can.
Thank you so much for answering all of our questions. It's been hopefully really enjoyable for everyone, and hope you've learnt a lot from Miriam's journey. I know that Shay's got something that he wants to say to you.
Yeah, so Miriam doesn't actually know we were going to do this. So as Miriam said, she's moving on after about 10 years. The HR team is being moved to Birmingham. And I just wanted to say that it's been an absolute pleasure working with you. Truly inspirational. And your passion about your people, your organisation, and the things that you've achieved is just phenomenal.
Don't make me cry.
We've actually got a little gift for you as well. So,
thank you.
There you go. These are for you.
Oh,
and
thank you.
it's not just me that wanted to say thank you as well. So there's a number of people that you've worked with at Reward Gateway. Some of them you know, some of them you don't. But your story has kind of touched many different people. So we've also got a video of some other people that want to say thank you to you as well.
I really didn't know this was happening.
Hi Miriam, I'm Lisa. I know we haven't met, but I just wanted to let you know just how much we've really appreciated having you as a client here at Reward Gateway. Your work with employee outreach and support with your own benefits programme has really influenced our work here on our new benefits champion feature of our product. So although we've not met, you've had a real big impact on things we do here, and we're really sorry to see you go.
Hi Miriam, Phil here. I was responsible for running the sales team when we first met you. I always remember how important it was that at Stroke Association you spent the money that you had from your supporters in the right way. If you recall the calculator, you had this calculator that you used to walk into the stairwell with, and if you shone it just in the right place, because it was solar powered, you'd just get enough to do some sums on your calculator. So if you recall, I sent you a new calculator. I sent you a new calculator so you could make sure that you were working out all of your budgeting in exactly the right way. I'm always laughing about that story now, and it's one of my favourite moments at Reward Gateway. So I wish you well, good luck in the future, and I'm sure we'll see each other soon.
Hi Miriam, I'm Charlie and I'm part of the Benefits Excellence Awards team. I just wanted to say a huge well done about everything that you've done for the Stroke Association around employee engagement. It's clients like you that make the awards possible and you're really an inspiration to us all. Good luck with the future and I hope to see you at the awards again soon.
You know, Miriam, you've been a great client over these last years and you've really been an inspiration to us all with your dedication to the Stroke Association and how much you've kept in focus their objectives and what they needed. You've never faltered from that. I remember how many times you've told us that the programme really has to deliver value and how conscious and concerned you are about how all the money that you spend comes from your supporters. So we've worked really, really hard with you over the years to make sure that the Stroke Association got fantastic value. And you've been a great supporter of us and of these events as well. I'm not sure actually if it'll be half as much fun running Benefits Excellence Live without a good chance of seeing you in the audience smiling up at us when you come along. Of course, the funniest time that I can remember working with you was at our Smart Hub launch last August, when I was running a live on-stage demo of the Smart Hub technology. And to prove that it was real, I was shouting out to the audience and asking people to give us things to build live on screen. When I asked everyone whether we should build a reward hub, a benefits hub or an engagement hub, nobody answered. And when I saw you there in the front row, I picked you out and asked you to pick one of those 3 words. And no matter how many times I asked you to do it, your mind kept going a blank and you couldn't give me an answer. So you just left me hanging on the stage until eventually someone shouted from the back, build him a benefits hub. And we still laugh at that now. You're going to be a great miss to everyone here at Reward Gateway, Miriam. I'm sure you'll be a great miss at the Stroke Association too, but I'm sure you'll go on and take your work and your amazing insight into HR to another company soon, and wish you all the very, very best in whatever you do next. Thanks ever so much.